now in the NFL.
7 plays, 4 first downs, and now an 8th play for a touchdown. Derrick Henry pounds it home.
The Baltimore Ravens were one of the 4 teams that had the privilege of playing on Christmas Day. I just saw a report that the NFL had 65 million streaming viewers, which is nuts, and it just shows how much the league is truly growing. That was fun though. The Ravens annihilated the Houston Texans, and Lamar Jackson pretty much ended what was left of the MVP debate. This was the game where it was like, okay, the Ravens are real contenders this year, and they are starting to heat up at the right time. In this video, I want to break down how the Ravens were so dominant in this game, and I want to look towards the postseason, because for Lamar Jackson, it is that time. Yeah, he will win MVP, but it's all about the postseason. We know how good he is in the regular season. But before we get into everything, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 40,000 subscribers. We're so close. With your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alright, so the Ravens are peaking at the right time. This win over the Texans was complete domination from start to finish. Definitely was the best all-around performance of the season. The special teams unit started the game off hot when Rasheen Ali returned the opening kickoff 23 yards, and then Derrick Henry had a few strong rushes to get things going. And then Lamar took off right for a 25-yard gain. When Lamar is at his best, he plays mind games. He sneaks out of the pocket and takes off, or he takes short throws. When he's at his best, he is keeping opposing defenses on their heels, and he was at his best. After Zay Flowers set the Ravens up in scoring position with a 27-yard reception, Derrick Henry took it up the middle to give Baltimore the 7-0 lead. And then midway through the first, Derrick Henry found a crease and took one 30 yards, and then after the offense chipped away to get a few more yards, Justin Tucker drilled a 52-yarder. And every time he hits a long field goal, it's gotta make you happy. And hopefully for the Ravens' sake, he is really starting to get his confidence back as we approach the postseason. Houston did force Derrick Henry into a safety, but that was it for them. Baltimore just frustrated them and attacked them all game long. As the first half wrapped up, Lamar hit Mark Andrews for a huge 67-yard gain. It would be nice to see if those two could get going. Now would be the time, and then Isaiah likely caught the touchdown pass to go up a weird score of 17-2. To start off the second half, Axon Jackson broke one loose to the right for the 42-yard touchdown. And after this, the Texans were completely deflated. It's been a rough season for them, and losing Tank Dell pretty much capped off how things have been. But that does not mean this was a pushover game at all. The Texans are still loaded, they just completely shut them down. In the Ravens' final scoring drive, there was no standout play, but it was just good football. They methodically marched down the field and took advantage of a penalty, and Mark Andrews caught the 1-yard touchdown to officially put this game to bed in the third quarter. I don't think other teams wanted to see the Ravens heat up at this time, because this is not the same team as years past, where many other teams have been able to figure them out in the playoffs. You can't only game plan to shut down Lamar anymore. Now there is a whole nother beast to deal with, and his name is Derrick Henry. This is a lethal 1-2 punch, and as a football fan, I cannot wait to see these two play on the biggest stage. But I hate it so much as a Browns fan. I can't take it. But that aside, I would love to see Lamar succeed because he has gone through so much, and people have said so many things about him throughout his career. So what should be the Ravens' game plan in the playoffs? Because the Chiefs do seem to once again be the team to beat in the AFC. There is just something about them, man. They have a great coach, they just know how to win and do whatever it takes to get it done. And they are so good at in-game adjustments. That is who is in the Ravens' way right now. And I think the answer is pretty clear. You gotta find a way to score points. You're not gonna win a defensive game with Kansas City. If you play sloppy football with them, they will find a way to win. It's that simple. But if you score 30, I think it's gonna be tough for them to score 30, especially in the cold of January. And Lamar Jackson is now at the point where you can call him an experienced postseason player with no issues. It's up to him to see things and adjust. One thing that definitely will work in his favor is the fact that he knows what doesn't work. He knows all the ways he's failed in the past, and he knows he's got a workhorse next to him in the backfield that can grind down an opposing defense throughout all 4 quarters. I'm also starting to believe in the pass catchers as well, at least a lot more than I did at the beginning of the season. Mark Andrews definitely had a slow start for his standards, but now he's back to those 50+ yard games, and Zay Flowers just reached 1,000 yards for the season. So between those two, Bateman and Likely, no team in the playoffs will be able to zero in on just one guy. They have 3 or 4 weapons in terms of skill position players, and then of course the 1-2 punch of Lamar and Henry on top of that. And then the defense has really been finding a groove. When you think Ravens, you think defense because of those Super Bowl years with Ray Lewis. But this defense really has been on a roll, allowing an average of just under 10 points for the last 3 games. And it's not like they were playing nobodies. They faced the Steelers, who were rolling at the time, and then Houston definitely has the talent to score points with anyone. I know the Giants suck, but that is what it is. In the Texans game, it was Roquan Smith that led the way in tackles with 7, and then Humphrey was right behind with 5. Kyle Hamilton got the 1 interception of the game for the Ravens. I remember way back earlier in the season, he was the reason my Browns somehow pulled off that upset with Winston because he dropped that blatant interception. So for him, it was good to get 1. Anyways, back to Lamar Jackson. Congratulations to him. He broke Michael Vick's all-time career rushing record for a QB, some historic stuff. And Lamar really is a one of one. He's incredible, and every week he does something new that just amazes you, both with his arm and his legs. Lamar has always had this potential, but I still remember the days when he was viewed as a running back because the arm was just not developed, and he was not making accurate throws or even putting enough on his throws. I think we all knew this day was coming, but to see it happen really is just amazing. Lamar had like 4 or 5 MVP plays in that win over Houston. And with Josh Allen having a rough game against New England, like I said, the race is donezo. One thing the Ravens have gotten a lot better at that also is credit to Harbaugh is not making the mental mistakes. They only had 3 flags. I'm sure they will take that every time. And in the playoffs, committing penalties can win or lose you a game. It's all discipline. And doing the little things right is the difference between a good team with a good coach or a great team with a great coach. I definitely love the whole coaching system in Baltimore. Very often does a player not develop into their fullest potential. So yeah, like I said, before the playoffs actually start, we need to just enjoy the football that the Ravens are playing. I know there will be all that speculation when the postseason starts because Lamar does need to perform. There's going to be a lot of pressure on his shoulders, but none of that matters at the current moment. Lamar has been the best player in the NFL this season. Let's take a look at what Lamar as well as Harbaugh had to say in their post-game interviews.
That's a record that's been there forever. For a long time, and Michael Vick, one of my favorite players. That's just dope.
Tell me what you saw on that, the long 48-yard run.
Marcus Zaid, great block, and the rest was his zone. So,
They said that was, as far as miles per hour, that was your fastest run in the NFL of your career. Did it feel that way?
I was jogging. I was straight.
You know, to win all these games by double digits, what does that kind of say about the group as a whole?
It says so much, and it says we're not done yet because it's been done, and the next thing is going to be the next game. We need to be 1-0 to win the AFC North, and that'll be our focus after we get some rest. We'll have rest until we'll get the guys out. We'll bring them back on Monday, and we'll get started for the Browns, which is always a very tough team, tough opponent, division game. So, but it will be for the AFC North crown, and we're going to need to be locked in for that. But the fact that they did it in this short stretch. I think our team probably handled it the best, arguably. I don't know. I guess the Chiefs did a good job too. So there you go. Got to give them credit. Give credit where credit's due. But I'm proud of our guys, man. I'm really proud of our guys for what they accomplished. Our coaches, our strength conditioning coaches, our nutritionist, our trainer, our performance coach.
That's really all I got for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.